It was a quiet evening in Green Hill Town. The sun was going down and the streets were empty. Lisa walked home from the library. She loved reading mystery books, but she never thought she would be part of one. When Lisa arrived home, she opened the door and turned on the light. Something was wrong. Her favorite bracelet, a gift from her grandmother, was missing. She always left it on the small table near the door. Lisa looked around. Nothing else was gone. Only the bracelet. Lisa felt confused. She lived alone, and she locked the door when she left. Who could take it? She checked the windows. They were closed. The door was not broken. Lisa tried to remember. Did she move the bracelet? Maybe she left it in her bedroom? She searched everywhere but could not find it. Lisa decided to ask her neighbor, Mr. Johnson. He was an old man who liked to sit outside and watch the street. Maybe he saw something. She knocked on his door. "Good evening, Mr. Johnson. Did you see anyone near my house today?" Lisa asked. Mr. Johnson thought for a moment. "I saw a man in a black coat near your door this afternoon. He stood there for a few minutes and then walked away. I thought he was a friend of yours." Lisa's heart started to beat fast. She didn't know anyone who wore a black coat. Who was this man, and why was he near her house? Lisa thanked Mr. Johnson and went back home. She sat on the couch and thought. The bracelet was important to her. She needed to find it. But how? Then she had an idea. She had a small security camera in the living room. It was hidden behind a plant. She checked her phone. The camera recorded everything. Lisa opened the app and looked at the video. Her hands were shaking. She saw herself leaving the house in the morning. A few hours later, the door opened. A man in a black coat entered. He looked around and went straight to the table. He took the bracelet and left quickly. Lisa couldn't see his face clearly, but there was something familiar about him. Lisa felt afraid, but also curious. Why did he take only the bracelet? Who was he? She had to find out. She took a deep breath. Tomorrow she would go to the police, but first she wanted to look at the video again. Maybe she missed something important. Lisa did not know that this was only the beginning of a bigger mystery. The next morning, Lisa went to the police station. She showed the video to Officer Miller, who watched it carefully. "This is strange," he said. The man knew exactly where to go. He didn't search for anything else. Lisa nodded. "That's what I thought. It's like he came for the bracelet and nothing more." Officer Miller leaned back in his chair. "Do you know anyone who might want it? Maybe someone from your family?" Lisa hesitated. Her grandmother gave her the bracelet before she passed away. It was very old, but Lisa never thought it was valuable. "Not really. It's just a family gift." The officer wrote something in his notebook. "We will check the security cameras from the street. Maybe we can see his face." Lisa thanked him and left. She felt nervous. She needed more answers. She decided to visit her aunt, who knew a lot about their family history. When Lisa arrived at her aunt's house, she explained everything. Her aunt listened carefully and then walked to a wooden box. She took out an old photo and gave it to Lisa. Lisa looked at it. Her grandmother was standing next to a man in a black coat. Her heart skipped a beat. The man in the picture looked exactly like the man in the video. "Who is he?" Lisa whispered. Her aunt sighed. "That's your great-grandfather. He disappeared 50 years ago." Lisa felt cold. How could this be possible? The man in the video looked exactly like someone who was gone for decades. The mystery was far from over. Lisa took the photo and compared it to the video. The similarities were too strong to ignore. But how could a man who disappeared so long ago be in her house now? "There must be a mistake," Lisa said. "Maybe someone just looks like him." Her aunt shook her head. "That bracelet is special. Your great-grandfather always said it had a secret. He never told anyone what it was. Then one day he vanished." Lisa's mind was racing. Could the bracelet hold some kind of key to the past? Was the man looking for something more? She decided to return home and examine the bracelet closely. If she ever found it again. That night, Lisa couldn't sleep. Every small noise made her heart pound. At midnight, she heard a soft knock on the door. She froze. Slowly, she got up and walked to the door. "Who's there?" she whispered. No answer. She looked through the peephole. No one was there. But when she opened the door, a small envelope lay on the ground. Lisa picked it up with shaking hands and opened it. Inside was a note. "Stop searching. Some secrets must stay hidden." Lisa's breath caught in her throat. Someone was watching her. Someone knew she was looking for the truth, but Lisa had never been more determined. She was going to solve this mystery, no matter what.